Bonjour tout le monde. Aujourd'hui, c'est mardi le 11 janvier. Le mot de passe? Moi aussi, moi non plus. Moi aussi, me too. Moi non plus, me neither. Ok, aujourd'hui dans l'histoire. Aujourd'hui, c'est mardi le 11 janvier au Maroc. Le 11 janvier est la fête de la résistance pour l'indépendance. Au Maroc. Le Maroc en anglais c'est Morocco. It's a country in northern Africa. Et la France a contrôlé le Maroc de 1912 à 1956. So for a long time, a few decades, Morocco was under French control. 35% des Marocains parlent français. Le 11 janvier, en 1944, les Marocains nationalistes ont présenté un manifeste, un document de l'indépendance signé par 66 personnes au sultan. So you had the French government that was presiding over this colony, Morocco, le Maroc, and then you also had le Sultan, who I'm not exactly sure how the government worked at that point in Morocco, but was some type of figurehead who ran the country in some respect. Probably through a monarchy type system. So he was able to become the Sultan just based on his birth. Ils ont présenté un manifeste au sultan. They presented it to him, et toutes les personnes qui ont signé le manifeste. So all the people who signed le manifeste ont été emprisonnés par les Français. They were all imprisoned by the French government. Wow. So, la fête de la résistance pour l'indépendance. La résistance, this is indicating resistance against the French colonists pour l'indépendance, in order to get their independence from France and become their own country, which eventually they did en 1956. So, not too long later, 12 years later. Okay. Aujourd'hui, il y a une activité sur Gary le Singe. Remember, we had our story about Gary le Singe. This particular activity is going to be about Walter le Singe. So the story and the character names are a little bit different than what we did, but the basics are the same. So this is going to be similar to the reading assessment activity you did with La Grenouille, the singing frog, as well as Closet Space. You're going to see at the top you have some pictures to match with words or phrases en français. And then you'll have the story of Walter le Singe. Like I said, slightly different than the one that we did with Gary le Singe. But you'll have to find some main idea sentences and then translate them. So here is your link to that. I do want you to do this without notes or resources. So if you want to use this Quizlet to study beforehand and or read through our Gary le Singe story, those would both be good ways to prepare for this. Okay. La chanson de la semaine, we're going to do Alouette again. I do plan to have an activity to go along with this, maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. But for now, I just want you to reacquaint yourself with this song. Alouette, gentille alouette. Et, dernièrement, last thing, TPR. So go back and review those. In fact, actually, if you're watching this and haven't done the assessment yet, or the activity yet, activité, maybe doing TPR first would actually be beneficial, because that would also help you prepare for this. Remember, later this week we have coming up l'examen final, vendredi, this Friday. So just make sure that you are preparing for that. If you did not do la révision pour l'examen final yesterday, make sure you do it today or sometime this week. That will be very helpful to you. Okay, as you know, you can always contact me if you have any other questions. Au revoir tout le monde.